How are you, everyone? Today is our last new materials. From next class, we're not going to see any new materials. We're just going to do review. So today, I'm going to finish the syllabus. Tomorrow, whatever you don't understand from the review sheet or whatever you need help with, go over that during your PLTO. Your fifth exam will be on Thursday, and next week, Monday, Tuesday, review here. Wednesday, review during PLTO, and Thursday, you'll have your final exam. We have only one more week, and that's it, you're done. The last day to submit any of the homework and quizzes are 11. So, of course not.
I thought you did say that.
No. Of course not. Our last day class is 14. Then how can you have your homework do 18? No way. Your homework and quizzes do 11. Today is 5. You still have 6 more days. So, huh? Yeah, so 11 is everything due, and today is 5. So 11 minus 5 is 6 days. You have 6 days to complete all the homework and quizzes. And then you have 2 days just for final exam. And then you have a final exam. Okay? Any question before you start? Any comments, concern, complaint? Anything? Nothing? Yeah. Same time, same everything. Sama is more flexible. Okay. Yesterday we did one example, which will be in the final exam. They will ask you to find the vertex, x-intercept, y-intercept, and graph. Okay, so let's start with vertex. Vertex is a point. It has an x value and y value. So we are going to find x and y. Let's find the x value. Do you see the vertex here? It's not directly given to us. So what do we do? When you don't see the vertex, you have to find the vertex. What's the equation? X equals?
B equal
X equals?
X equal minus B under 2A.
Good job. Negative B over 2A. Must remember this formula. This is the x value of the vertex.
Oh, we do get it.
Hmm? You have to remember this. So in this equation, I will not comment on that.
Oh, no comment means yes, right?
Negative B, so negative what here? Negative 6 divided by 2 times negative 1. So negative 6 divided by negative 2, 3. So x value of the vertex is 3. Now we need to find the y value. How do you find the y value?
You plug in that for the original equation.
Good job. It goes back on the original equation. We substitute x with what we just found and simplify. So negative 3 squared, 6 times 3 minus 8. So what do we have here? Is it positive 9 or negative 9? Really?
27.
This one. Is it positive 9 or negative 9?
That is a
Negative 9 because negative is outside of the parentheses.
yes.
So it's a multiplication.
Negative.
Negative 9, positive 18 minus 8. So we have, this gives us 9. 9 minus 8 is, huh?
So one. Three is separate.
This is negative times x squared. So negative times 3 squared. So this is 1. Not 18, just only 1. Not 18. It's 1. So vertex is x value 3, y value 1. And now we know what is axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. Who remembers axis of symmetry? X equals what? 3. Axis of symmetry is the x value of the vertex. Okay, and it's this vertical line, so it's x equals whatever.
But we
That's
don't have to draw it, right?
In the exam we don't, but on my method we do. If you don't do the axis of symmetry, they will take off points on my method. Okay, so we found vertex. Now let's find easy one, y-intercept. How do we find y-intercept? We set all the x0 and we solve for y. So y equals negative x squared plus 6x minus 8. This is 0, this is 0. So y equals negative 8. But they actually ask for point format. X is 0, y is negative 8. So y-intercept is the easiest one. It is all the x term, the constant is the y-intercept. The next one is x-intercept. How do you find x-intercept? Y0. Set y0 and we solve for x. So whatever you are finding, you don't want the other variable to be visible. So you make the other variable invisible. So we have a big 0 equals negative x squared plus 6x minus 8. Then what? First of all, we're starting with a negative, right? So you don't want the negative, so either you can factor out or you can divide. You can divide by -1 both sides because you want to start your day with something positivity, not something negativity. X squared minus 6x plus 8. And now we can factor easily. -4, -2. What do you do next? X minus 4 equals 0. X minus 2 equals 0. So we add 4 and add 2. So x equals 4 and x equals 2. Any questions so far?
What's the one?
Below 0?
The y. What y? No.
Here?
Yeah.
-9, positive 18.
No, yeah, but what's the one?
The 1 is the y value. So 2 is the number 2 and A is from here. In here, what is in A? So 2 times negative 1. Any other question? So now it's time to graph the vertex 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, and 1. These are vertex. X is 2 and 4. So this is 2, this is 4. This is 3, 1. And our y is negative 8. Let's say somewhere here we have negative 8. So plot the x-axis, plot the x-intercepts on the x-axis, y-intercept on the y-axis, plot the point of the vertex. So what type of shape we have? Upward or upside down? Upside down. See, this is upside down parabola.
So upwards is
This is upward. Upward. And this thing is, we call it downward. You can call downward or upside down. Upside down or downward. Any question?
The other way, graph using transformation that we.
If you want to use transformation, you have to convert this into vertex format. Because only in the vertex format you can see whatever transformation you have. Left, right, up, down, reflection. You cannot use transformation in this format. Because in order to see the transformation, you need to see your vertex, how the vertex is moving.
So I have a question. When an equation starts negative in a vertex format, it goes negative. So
any equation, if you x squared start with a negative, it's downward.
So if the vertex, we take h and k as x and y. So if h is negative 4, do we take the negative or just the 4?
Here?
No, not yet.
So tell me your format.
Okay, y fx equal
F of x equals
negative x minus 4 squared plus 2.
Plus 2. So this is negative 8 and this is k. Okay, so when you have to take the opposite sign. So you have to be positive 4 and positive 2. Because the inside here is negative 8.
Only take the number.
So only the inside change. Remember yesterday I said inside they don't listen to us, whatever we say, it does the opposite. So inside we have x minus 4. So it's supposed to go left, but we don't go left, we go right. Also, for the vertex, it's not negative 4, it's positive 4. The side goes to the right side. It's positive 4.
So if you draw this, it will be x. Like no.
So if you draw, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the right, 2 units upward, and then you draw. So here, using our x and y, you can draw your parabola. So this is the vertex here, and you have to go downward, but they want you to draw exact parabola. So you need to know exact position of your x-intercept and the y-intercept for this question. But for transformation, we don't care. The transformation means the exact position of this one matters the most.
So you only ask for vertex only. You don't ask
for transformation.
Transformation, just the vertex.
Just the vertex. But for this type of question, you need to know everything. So they will give you like this one, exactly same one. Graph this. But in order to graph these, you need the vertex, x-intercept, y-intercept. Because it's graph.
So we can't find the x and y except on the transformation.
We can, but we don't have to. The only thing matters on the transformation is, the most important thing matters on the transformation is the position of the vertex. As long as the position of the vertex is correct, we consider that is correct. Okay? But in reality, we do care about the x and y intercept, but here we don't care.
So if this was x plus 4 square, so vertex would be -4 plus 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 2 here.
What is the opposite of that? Right.
No problem. Now let me ask you a question. In this graph, the top portion of the graph represents the positive y value, right? And the bottom portion is negative y value, right? So on which interval your y is positive? Here. From which x value to which x value your y is positive?
Y is positive.
Y is positive from which x value to which x value?
2
to 4. 2 to 4. This portion is above the x-axis, so all the y's are positive, right? Right? Do you see that? This portion here, y is positive, y is positive, y is positive, y is positive. Everywhere from the x value 2 to 4, all the y's are positive. Where the y is negative?
2 negative.
See, y is negative everywhere here, right? Because this portion is lying below the y-axis, so below the x-axis. So is this one, right? It's lying below the x-axis. Do you see, guys? This portion on the left is lying below the x-axis. This portion is lying below the x-axis. So everywhere on the left and everywhere on the right, all the y's are negative. So what interval we have here? Negative infinity to 2, or y is negative. And how do you write this interval?
U. U, then you put 2 and.
No, 2 to 4 is positive. I said negative y. Negative y is from 4, right? From 4, all the y's are negative. So from 4 to positive. Now,
Did they ask us that or no?
you will see. Now let's say this is 3 and this is 5. Tell me where our y is negative. On which interval your y is negative?
Negative infinity to.
Negative infinity to positive 3 means this portion. Anywhere else? And then from 5 to positive infinity. And we should write this because we don't have any hole in our graph. So y is negative on the downwards, below the x-axis, and y is positive above the x-axis. Okay? Let me give you one more question. Let's say we have our x is negative infinity, positive infinity. Let's say we have here negative 2, and let's say positive 3. Now tell me where our y is positive. So in this interval and in this interval, on the left side and the right side, all the y you see, these are positive.
And why would you change the brackets again?
Because there is no hole here. There is no hole. If you don't have a hole, it's bracket. If you have a hole in the graph, then it's parenthesis. So there is no hole, it's solid line everywhere. So it's bracket. Now, who did not understand this? What I'm talking about?
When do we, sorry.
In inequality. The lesson we're going to learn today. I want you to use the graph. So, now if I ask you where we have negative y in this graph, on which interval you have a negative y? Eliza? -2 to +3 inside the bracket. So here, all the y's are negative. The y value you see is negative, probably 1. The y value you see, probably -2, something like that. So every y value below the x-axis, they are negative. So when you say in which interval it's negative, means the x interval on the x-axis. From which x value to which x value, you see your y is negative. Or from which x value to which x value, you see your y is positive. Okay?
That's only for y.
Only for y. Because inequality, we only care about the y. I mean, what you're looking for is the y. Now, one last question. Let's say we have this graph. Upside down, no problem. Let's say this is -5, and let's say this is -8. And you only try it. Who wants to try this one? We are looking for fast positive y. It's a parabola, okay? It doesn't look like parabola, it's parabola. So I'd like to try this one. Give me the y intervals. Give me the y value where it's positive. I said y is positive. So this one, do you have a y positive here or negative here? Negative. At this point, your y is positive or negative? Positive. At this point, your y is positive or negative? Positive. At this point, your y is positive or negative? At this point, your y is positive or negative? So where do you see positive y? From which to which? -5, right? When I said on which interval y is positive, it's supposed to give me the interval for the x. On which x interval your y is positive. X interval. How is this?
This is bracket -5 to +8.
Exactly. Only from here to here, all the y's are positive, right? So what's the interval? -5 to 8. Positive 8. It's not infinity. Oh, do you think it's infinity? Let me change the number. Let's say it's 7.
But I'm not gonna answer, but I have a question.
Uh-huh.
We did this in previous sections.
We are going to use this information that in the next section we are going to learn today.
No, but we did something similar earlier, but then we kept using all of those things in the middle too. Remember, it did negative infinity to 5, 5 to 8, and 8 to.
It was the domain. Domain is different than what you're learning here. Okay, for domain, we take the entire x-axis. But here we are not talking about the entire x-axis. We're talking about where our y is positive and where our y is negative. Okay, so don't confuse them.
So basically from here is like 4 points to 1.
That's why I said interval. From this point to that point, that's the interval. Now, where our y is negative in this parabola? Who would like to try? Negative infinity to negative 5. Positive 7 to positive infinity. So all these y you see, these are negative, negative, negative. That means entire this interval and that interval, every y you see, they are negative. So this is what we have. I'm going to skip this and I'm going to go here. Now, inequality. When we solve inequality, we don't get x equals a number. We get a set of number. In a set of number where our y is positive or where our y is negative. Okay? So when we solve the inequality, we have to write our answer in the interval notation. How do you write the interval notation? If inequality, so we have 4 types of inequality. Bigger than or less than, and bigger than equal or less than equal. So 4 types of inequality. This is bigger than, it doesn't have an equal sign. This is less than, it doesn't have an equal sign. So if your inequality doesn't have any equal sign, the boundary for your set will have parentheses. But if your inequality has an equal sign, the boundary of your set will have brackets. For example, these 2 questions, they don't have any equal sign. So our boundary will be parentheses for the set, for the inequality. Now the first one is saying where this parabola is positive. Bigger than 0 means positive. Okay. So where y is positive. This one is saying where y is negative. Less than 0 means negative. So if you use the parabola, you don't have to do any math. You just draw the parabola and get the result. So how are you going to do the parabola? What type of transformation you get there? Negative x square means what? Upside down parabola. And then we have plus 4 after the square. Oh. Good job, you remember. So we have upside down, up 4 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then upside down parabola. Now, unfortunately here, we do have to know the exact x-intercept.
If this was a minus x squared plus 4 with brackets, it would say we're moving this way.
Left 4.
Oh.
But here it's outside. So they just started liking one another. So up 4 means, plus 4 means going up 4. If it is inside, it means they're already inside the heart. So they don't listen, but they go left, right. So here we know where the y is positive in this parabola. Definitely from here to here, right? So we know our answer. It's from here to there. The question is, what is this number and what is this number? So basically you have to find the x-intercept. So let's solve the x-intercept. We have, so let me actually put this a little bit up. We know we have a parabola upside down and our answer is here. We need to know what is this and what is this. So you're looking for x-intercept. How do you find x-intercept? Set y to 0. So negative x squared plus 4 equals 0. And then solve for x. How do you find x? What is our first step? You can subtract 4 or you can add x squared. If you add x squared, it's one step. So 4 equals x squared. And then to get the epsilon, square root. So x equals only 2. We clearly see there are two x-intercepts. Plus minus 2. So what is this point? The left x-intercept? Negative 2. And the right x-intercept? Positive 2. So what is our answer? From what to what? On which interval our y is positive? Negative 2 to positive 2. And what would be the boundary? Bracket or parenthesis? Our inequality doesn't have equal sign. So if you don't have equal sign, the boundary has to be parenthesis. In other words, all you need to do is solve for x to find the x-intercept, graph it, and then just get it from the graph. You don't need to set up any table or anything.
So the vertex would be 0, 4.
But here we are not talking about vertex, we're talking about the x-intercepts. We need the x-intercept here. That's why we solve for x. Since we already did this one, that means we know the answer for the right one. The right one is saying where this graph is negative. So what will be the answer for this one? Where this parabola is negative? Negative infinity to negative 2. And then from 2 to positive infinity. Because you have the same equation. Negative x squared plus 4.
So basically 0 and the sign has no effect.
The 0 will tell you what you're looking for, positive or negative. Here we have bigger than 0, means you're looking for the positive part. Here you have the sign less than 0, it means you're looking for the negative part. So in order to solve the inequality, you need to know where you have something positive or something negative. In other words, all you have to do is, if you don't see a 0, bring everything to one side so that you can see 0. Why do you care about 0? Because 0 will tell you what you're looking for. Bigger than 0 means positive, less than 0 is negative. So the left question says positive y. We see the positive y is happening only in the middle. From where to where? From negative 2 to positive. This is our positive portion. That means our negative portion is from negative infinity to negative 2 here, and from positive 2 to negative, positive 2 to positive infinity for this part. Are you guys confused? Little? Let's do a few more. Negative means we have upside down parabola. And negative 4 this time, which direction you are going? Down 4. And we have the same graph. But the first portion says bigger than 0. So what you're looking for, positive or negative? Positive. And the second portion says less than 0. Negative. So let's draw the graph. We are upside down parabola. We are going 4 units down. 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, 4 down. Let me put it a little bit up. 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, 4 down. Here, and we are drawing upside down parabola. So what's the answer here? Which portion of the graph is lying above the x-axis, where you have positive y? Good. There is none. So answer here is none. Because the entire parabola is lying below the x-axis. So here our y is negative. Here y is negative. Here y is negative. Here y is negative. Everywhere you see the graph, they all have only negative y's. There is no positive y value. But they are asking for, tell me the interval y is positive. You cannot tell them anything because there is nothing. So it doesn't have any positive y value. So what's the answer for this one? Where your y value is negative? From where to where? Good job. Negative infinity to positive infinity. Everywhere you see in this graph, all the y values are negative. So from negative infinity to positive infinity, the entire x values will give you negative y. So we needed to find the x-intercept because we don't have any x-intercept. We are crossing it. Here we found the x-intercept because we crossed that intercept. We didn't cross x-intercept, we don't need it. So inequality asks us on which interval you have positive y or on which interval you have negative y. This is what you're looking for in inequality. Where on the other hand, when you solve normal function, they ask you where are you crossing the x-axis. We found the x-intercepts by solving for x. Now what will be in your final exam will be something like this.
So how do we define that sign where we're positive or negative?
Question number 1. Do you see any 0 here? So what is the first step? Subtract 10. So we have x squared minus 3x minus 10 bigger than 0. Now to answer your question, Handa, bigger than 10, sorry, bigger than 0. What does that mean? What you're looking for?
It must be because it must be positive side of the graph.
Positive. So see, that's how you know what you're looking for, positive or negative. The 0 will tell you what you're looking for. So you're looking for positive y values. And what would be your boundary? Bracket or parentheses?
And that has to be above the x-axis. If it's not above the x-axis,
It's down. It's negative. How about the boundary? Whatever boundary you're going to write, bracket or parentheses? Parentheses because it doesn't have an equal sign. Parentheses. No equal sign means parentheses. Equal sign means bracket. Now the question is, we need, since it has x-intercept, so we need to know what's the x-intercept. What's the x-intercept here? How do you find the x-intercept? So x squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. And how are you going to solve? You need to factor, right? Anytime you're solving, if it's factorable, you have to solve. You have to factor, sorry. Negative what? Negative 5, positive 2. So x minus 5, 0 gives you x equals 5. X plus 2, 0 gives you x is negative 2. These are your two x-intercepts. So let's draw our graph. We have -2 and +5. What type of parabola we are going to draw? Upward or downward? Upward.
How do we get the vertex?
We don't care about the vertex because we are looking for these two. When it says find vertex, you find vertex. When it doesn't say find vertex, you don't have to find vertex.
But how do we know where it needs to be drawn? It doesn't matter.
Exactly. I mean,
No, where it crosses what? Doesn't
no.
matter. Okay.
The main thing here is the x-intercept. These are the important thing. So in this parabola, where you see positive y values, because you're looking for something positive. Positive, 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 positive. So there are two intervals here and here. On those two x intervals, our y's are positive. Tell me the intervals. -∞ to -2 with the parentheses because there is no bracket, there is no equal sign, and the right side 5 to infinity with the parentheses.
Why do we have
There is no equal sign. That's why I gave you the rules here. If you remember the rules, it will be easier. No equal sign means parentheses. Equal sign means brackets. I'm actually skipping something. Why there is this rule? This is the rule because when you have equal sign, it means you're looking for where your y is 0 or positive. So this is the solution you're looking for. Upward parabola. We draw the upward parabola because our x square is positive. If your x square is negative, it's upside down parabola. So draw the parabola. Okay, so to find the inequality, find the x-intercept, draw the graph, and then just based on what you see, write down your equation, write down your interval. This is one way of doing it, okay? The easiest way. In the final exam, we don't have much time, so you should use all the shortcuts. Try the next one. They look same, but they are not same. Solve the inequality. The direction is solve the inequality. Solve the inequality. And there will be one question in the final exam formula. This type of question. Or they'll give you a fraction. For fraction, the story is different. For quadratic, this is easy. Tell me the first step. What's the first step? Subtraction. So x squared plus 3x minus 10 less than or equal 0. And then what do you do? Factor. -2. Plus 5, 0, x minus 2, 0. So what's the x-intercept? -5, +2.
So it's asking for neutral. Neutral power.
But first you have to decide what you're looking for. What you're looking for. So you're looking for negative, right? Below the x-axis. And your boundary will have what? You have an equal sign. Boundary, parenthesis or bracket? Bracket. And now let's draw. We have upward parabola because it's x squared. X squared is upward.
It's
10 is the y-intercept. 10, not 10, negative 10. Negative 10 is the y-intercept. But we don't care here because we don't need that. So what is this point? -5. And what is this point? +2. And you're looking for below the x-axis. Negative. So what's the answer? Let's go fast. Go ahead, Martin.
plus 3.
It depends on the graph. We have parabola. This is positive, this is positive, right? And this portion is negative. This negative y, right? Negative y, negative y, negative y, negative y, negative y, negative y. So all the y you need here, they are negative. What you're looking for?
No, but I mean, like, when you draw the parabola, at 0, that's plus, what does the?
Why do you see to me? These 3x, it doesn't affect us. The four things the parabola have is x-intercepts, y-intercept, and vertex. For inequality, we don't need anything else besides the x-intercept.
Question is, I'm getting confused, like, when it's open on other direction. Like, that is,
That's what I told you guys. If you have positive x squared, it's upward parabola. If you have negative x squared, upside down parabola.
no,
Right?
I mean,
The mouth of the inequality. So no problem. If you have the mouth toward whatever you have, and if 0 is this, it's called bigger than 0. That means it's positive.
that could be anything off.
So it's this.
Bigger than,
Anything here, these are bigger than 0. Positive. If we have other way around, so the mouth is wherever the mouth is, that side is bigger. So this side is big, this side is smaller. So what is smaller than 0? smaller than 0. Anything smaller than 0 is positive or negative? Negative. So everything here is negative because this is a negative y. One more. Oh. So we can draw the parabola only when you're given x squared, the highest degree. Okay? When you have a quadratic equation, it's parabola. So we can just draw the parabola, life is easy. But not every equation will be parabola. This equation is not a parabola. Because we have degree 1, 2, 3. Our degree is 4. Are you still confused, Miranda? Wherever the mouth is, we give that part first. So something bigger than 0. Something smaller than 0. So whatever is blank, whatever doesn't have anything, we read that part first. So this doesn't have anything. So that's bigger 0. We have nothing here. So that smaller 0. Fish eating, yeah, good. Okay, so if you have a parabola, only then you can use parabola. But if you don't have a parabola, then you cannot use the parabola. The next example is not a parabola. It's a 4th degree polynomial. So you cannot use parabola anymore. We have to use a new method. And that new method is probably familiar with the table method. Okay? So we do the same thing. We need to know the x-intercept for every factor you see. Find the x-intercept. I should say intercepts. So we set each factor equals 0. X squared equals 0. X plus 1 equals 0. X minus 5 equals 0. We are looking for x-intercept. X-intercept tells us the intervals, right? So to find the intervals, we definitely know the x.
So whenever we find the x-intercept, we go straight into the
Because it's already factored. See here, to find the x-intercept, we factored first, and then we solve for x, we found the x-intercept. Now here, we don't have to factor anything because they already factored everything for us. So we straight go to the x-intercept by setting each factor equals 0. That tells us x equals, this is 2. X equals how much? 0. This tells us x equals -1. And this tells us x equals +5. So we have 3 x-intercept. We need to know where we have positive and where we have negative. Since we don't know, and we also don't know its graph, because this is not a parabola. It has 3 x-intercept. Parabola doesn't have 3 x-intercept. So we actually draw them on the number line. Negative infinity, positive infinity. And somewhere we have 3 x-intercepts. -1, 0, 5. So we put those x-intercepts on the x-axis. And we see where we have positive y or negative y. Oh, I forgot to ask. What are you looking for? Positive y or negative y? Bigger than 0 means positive. And what would be the boundary? Bracket or parenthesis? Bracket. So let's see on which interval we get positive. So from -1 to -18. Pick any number for the x value, and that will tell you what's the y value. Let's say you're picking -2. If you substitute -2 into the function, that will tell us what's the y value we have, positive or negative. So we have -2 squared, -2 plus 1, -2 minus 5. I'm using this and replacing x with -2 because we want to know on this interval what's the y value. Is it positive or it's negative? So we have negative square gives you positive. -2 plus 1 gives you a negative sign, right? -2 minus 5 gives you a -7. And when you multiply all these, the answer is positive. So y value is lying above the x-axis. And are you looking for positive? Yes. So this will be in our solution. Because all of these are multiplication. This times that times that. See, the first factor times the second factor times the third factor. So multiply the sign, the overall result will tell you what's the y value. We don't need the number, we only care about the sign. Because you're looking for sign, not the number. So what?
How does he know it was -2?
You can pick -100, no problem. Pick any number from -1 to -8. In other words, pick anything that is smaller than -1.
How does he know it was -1?
It's not -1. We cannot pick -1. -1 is the boundary.
Which is
X-intercepts.
oh gosh.
So you cannot pick the boundary. You need to pick anything between two boundaries. So we have a wall here, and you have a wall here. Now you have to know between these two walls, where your y is lying above the x-axis or below the x-axis. So what you do, pick any x value, substitute, and that will tell you the
So
y.
once you set all of those it's 0 and it stays 0 and smaller. It's a
Right here says 0 is small, x is 0 bigger.
but then it should be 5 and positive.
We're talking about the y values. These are the x values. What am I missing here?
Sorry.
So we just multiply the line, right? Right, the second multiplying plus the sign.
You're replacing x with a number.
Yeah, by the
The
beginning.
result gives you the 5. How do you know this is negative? This is -2 plus 1. So -2 is bigger, the result is negative. -2 minus 5 to negative, the result is negative. You substitute the number. You can work with the numbers, no problem.
But it doesn't matter.
No.
You have to figure out.
From each interval. Okay, so this is the story. You have a graph, okay? Either the graph is something like this, or let me erase. The graph is something like this. Okay. So how do you know what is our graph? Which one is our graph? We don't know. And why did I draw this one? Because you have so many x-intervals. So x-intercept. And here we have 3 x-intercepts. So one of these is our graph. Either the top one or the bottom one. So my question is, here see the y is negative, and here the y is positive. So how do you know how you started it? Like for each interval between each x-intercepts, how the y values are going? Are they going toward the x-path? how the y values are they positive or are they negative? So we have to figure them out. They're asking, hey, I'm giving you a graph, a function. Now tell me in this function, where do you see positive y? Bigger than 0 is positive y. So for this part, we see positive y here and there. But for this graph, we see positive y is here and here. So which one is correct graph? We don't know, right? So that's why, since we don't know, what we are doing here is we are plotting all those x-intercepts on the x-axis. And since we don't know the y's, so we are picking a number here, and we're going to pick a number here, here, and here, and see for each x value, what's the y value? Is it positive or is it negative? Okay, so here our graph is here, positive y here. Now for the next set of x values from -1 to 0, for all these x values, what's the y value? Is it positive or is it negative? We are looking for only the positive ones. But we need to know in each interval what's the y is.
Sorry. So the same that we did here, we will pick a random number and then
Between here. So do the exact same thing 1, 2, 3, 3 more times. We cannot use -1 because -1 is the x-intercept.
So.
-1 to 0. What number you have to think? Fraction. They don't have any whole number, right? So fraction.
So I have one more question. Let's say this sign was the other side. Where would be the answer start?
You do the same exact thing, but you are looking for negative. See here, mouth is bigger, and the 0 is on the smaller side, so you're looking for bigger than 0. Bigger than 0 means positive.
So it
So
will,
looking
answers
for-
will start from 5.
You will not tell the answer. The answer will be in white. I mean, you pick X, but you have to looking for a Y. They are saying, so the entire thing here represents the Y value. This function is a Y value.
Like, yeah.
So on which interval the Y value is positive? How do you know? All of these are x-intercepts. So you have 1 interval, 2 intervals, 3 intervals, 4 intervals. In 4 intervals, where your Y is positive? Y is positive. How do you know it's bigger than 5? You didn't test anything. You don't know. So you have to test each interval by picking a random x. You pick a random x, substitute, it will tell you the Y. The entire thing here you have is the Y. We'll do a few more examples and I think it'll be easier. Remember we have a function y equals x squared, x plus 1, x minus 5. The entire thing is y. So they're telling us, hey, I have this. Tell me where this is bigger than 0. What does it mean? It means tell me where the y value is bigger than 0, means where the y value is positive or 0. Okay? So this is the story, where the y value is positive or y value is 0. We know y value is 0 when x is 0, x is -1, and x is 5. Because these are x-intercepts, the y's are 0. So definitely know we have 3 places where y is 0. Now we need to know where y is positive. How do you know? We don't know. So we pick a random number from each x-interval, and then you see between 2 x-intercepts, what's the y is. In that the y is positive or the y is negative. So we pick the first interval, we pick -2, and we found our y is positive, and you're looking for positive, so these will go into our solution set. Now you have to test the next one. In this one, there is a whole number, so you have to pick a decimal. Let's say x is -0.5, right? Negative 0.5 is between 0 and negative 1. Somewhere here. So we are going to substitute that here. So negative 0.5 square. What result you get? Square makes it positive, right? So the first one will be positive. Then we have negative 0.5 plus 1. 1 is bigger than 0.5, so it's positive. The last one, negative 0.5 minus 5. Negative because you're adding two negative numbers. Since you're multiplying all these factors, so if you multiply all three things, what's the result? Negative. So y value is lying here. So will this set go inside our solution? Because this is negative. We're not looking for negative. So we go to the next interval. And we see from 0 to 5, what's the y value? So we pick any x value. What do you pick? 3? Okay. So from here, let me change the color. X is 3. Positive 3. So we go here. 3 squared. 9, right? Positive. Then you do 3 plus 1. 4, positive. And then we have 3 minus 5. Negative, not actually positive. So multiply all these, the answer is so negative here. We cannot take this interval. But we do know that 0 makes y 0, right? When x is 0, y is 0. So we take the first interval, we take the 0, and then we see the last interval. Any number bigger than 5. 6. 6 squared. Positive. 6 plus 1. 7, positive. 6 minus 5. Plus 1. If you multiply all positive, the answer is positive, and you're looking for positive. So see the solution, right?
What's going to be the answer that we have to write down?
The first interval, the 0, and the last interval. That's our solution. Solution. See here it's looking for either y is bigger than 0 or y is equals to 0. They're looking for or bigger than 0 or equals 0. So this is bigger than 0. This is bigger than 0. And this is when exactly y is 0. When x is 0, what's the result? 0 times anything is 0. So y is 0 here when x is 0. So solution will be, actually let me write the solution here. We don't have space. The first interval. How are you going to write the first interval? Infinity always gets parentheses. So negative infinity to
-1 bracket.
negative 1 bracket, union, then we have a 0. 0 is a single number, only single number. Do you remember what to use when you want a single number? Curly bracket. We learned this at the beginning of the semester. When you have only one number in your solution, in your set, use curly brackets. So this gives us positive y value. This gives us 0 y value. And this gives us positive. So what's the interval here? From what to what? Bracket 5 to infinity parenthesis. 5 to infinity. Oops, sorry. 5. You can solve the parabola using the same method, but parabola is easier. All you have to do is graph and then plot it. Now, in the final exam, they actually don't give anything this. They give either this type of thing where you have parabola, or they give you rational where you have a denominator.
So we don't get the other one.
Hmm?
We don't get the other one.
This is for your homework.
Oh.
Your homework is minutes they have. So for denominator, for rational, the same rule on the numerator. If you have, if you don't have equal sign in the inequality, parentheses, if you do have the equal sign, then it's bracket on the numerator. But for the denominator, it doesn't matter whether you have parentheses or not, it's always parentheses. Denominator and infinity. These two things always as parentheses, always. Now, when you denominator, you also consider the denominator. So if you have more than one fraction, bring everything to one side, add or subtract, simplify, and then set the numerator equals to 0, denominator cannot be 0, you get all the boundaries. And do the same thing what you just did. Okay? So this is easy example. Let me skip that for now, and let's go to the next one, which comes in the final exam sometimes. We have a denominator and we have non-denominator. We have to bring everything to one side to simplify. So add or subtract rational. So subtract x, add 2. We get 6 x plus 3 minus x plus 2 bigger than 0. Do you remember how to add or subtract rational? LCD. So what's the LCD here? X plus 3. The first denominator already has x plus 3. We didn't have to worry about that. The second denominator doesn't have x plus 3. So we put x plus 3. But what else we have to do? Multiply the numerator. Same story is here. We don't have the same denominator, so put it, but you also have to put it on the numerator. And now we are happy. All the denominators, they have the same denominator. So you write it once and you combine the numerator. The first numerator, the second numerator, the third numerator. We combine them. 6 minus x plus 3 plus 2 x plus 3 bigger than 0. How do you simplify the numerator? 6 minus x squared. Good. We are distributing, and since you're subtracting, so the sign change. And then we are distributing 2x plus 6 x plus 3. We have only one x squared, so we keep it. But we have 6 and 6. 6 plus 6 gives us 12.
Hold on. The negative in front of the x, doesn't that change what's inside?
So we have x plus 3.
Yeah.
We are multiplying by negative x. Negative x times x is negative x squared. Negative x times 3 is negative 3x.
But
so we have a plus, it changed into minus. We had a plus 3x. So plus 3 inside. But now it becomes minus 3. We distributed the negative.
Oh, you did.
We did. So negative times the plus sign into minus sign.
Can you change that later? No.
Why do you want to change it?
But you get the LCBX plus 3, and then you multiply x plus 3 and x plus 2.
Why do you multiply x plus 3 and x plus 2? Oh, you are multiplying together? I multiply separately. You're going to get the same result.
And then you can change the sign because it's 1, negative 1. We'll see. No.
Negative 3x plus 2x gives you negative x. Sorry. When you combine the numerator, this is what you have. Instead of multiplying together, it's actually better if you multiply separately. Negative x plus 2, and then multiply the denominator separately. Life will be easier. What do you think we should do next? Good. What do you dislike here? Negative. So first you have to factor out a negative. We get x squared plus x minus 12 over x plus 3. And now can you factor more? Two numbers multiplied to 12 combined to 1. Multiplied to negative 12 combined to positive 1. Plus 4. X plus 4, x minus 3. So you cannot cancel the plus 3 and minus 3. So this is the simplified version of this given question. This one and that one exact same thing. So you're not going to worry about that. We are going to concentrate from now on onto that part. So we take everything from the numerator that gives us x-intercept, everything from the denominator that tells us what x cannot be. Make this question? No?
So we're not done.
We are not done. We just rewrote so that now we can see our x-intercepts. So negative x plus 4 equals 0, x minus 3 equals 0, and the denominator tells us the denominator cannot be 0. The numerator gives us the x-intercept, denominator tells us what we cannot have. So x plus 4, 0 gives us x negative 4. This is one boundary. X equals 3, this is our second boundary. X equals negative 3, this is our third boundary. So like the previous question, we still have 3 boundaries to work with. So we take all 3 things and we place them on the number line. Let me write down the question again. Negative x plus 4, x minus 3, x plus 3. What are you looking for? Handa, what are you looking for? Which type of y? Good, be confident. See, bigger than 0.
Yes.
Bigger than 0 means positive. And what is our boundary for everything? Parentheses, which there is no equal sign. Parentheses. So you put our boundary. The first one is negative infinity. Then we have negative 4, negative 3, and positive 3 and infinity. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 intervals to 10.
And we have to do all this in 2 hours.
That's what I said. Mostly they give you parabola. For parabola, don't use this method. Just graph it and then get the answer from the graph. But these are not parabolas. You cannot use parabola here. You have to do this method.
Is this also for homework?
Oh, so this is about the problem.
This will be in the final. Either this question or the parabola. One of them will be in the final. Either this or parabola. I don't know which one. One.
So you.
Hmm?
You plug, so for the first thing, you plug, so that's what they're-
All of them. So what number you want to pick between -3 to -4? -5. Now let me change all of these to -5. -5, -5, -5. So what do you get? -5 plus 4, -1, -5 minus 3, negative, divided by -5 plus 3, -2. Negative cancel out, and you have two negatives. The result is positive. So this is lying above the x-axis, and you're looking for above the x-axis. Now let's go to the next room. What number here we want to pick?
So how many points is this?
Every question is 3.5.
There's no partial. This.
What number you have to pick from -3 to -4? -3.5. So let me change all of these again. -3.5, -3.5, -3.5. Now tell me the sign. No, first of all, you have a negative, right? This is always negative. And then what's the first one? Positive, right? 4 is bigger than 3.5. You look at which one is bigger and then take the sign from there. It's easy. So 4 is big, 3.5 is smaller, 4 is plus sign. Huh? First we factor a negative out, and then we factor.
So the factor out negative, what does that mean? You just keep it there, or activate?
Keep it, because if you want to divide or multiply, this will change, but still forget to change the inequality.
So would you do negative, the negative sign times the negative 2.5 first?
No. Negative, this negative is extra. So you have to keep it extra negative. And then you change x with whatever number you're looking for. You change all three x's. So keep this negative. If you want to distribute, you have to distribute to both of them. But this will become even harder. So keep it. So this negative is this negative. And then 4 is bigger than 3.5, 4 is positive. The next one, 3.5 and 3, they both are negative, so answer is negative. On the denominator, which one is bigger, 3.5 or 3? Which sign 3.5 has? So it's negative. Again, you cancel one of the negatives. What remains? Negative. So the second interval will not be in our solution. We're not looking for negative. Then you go to the next one. In this room, we have all the number from -3 to +3. Pick one randomly. 2. My favorite number is 0. Let's pick 0. Because 0 makes things so much easier. This x is 0, this x is 0, this x is 0. So you have negative 0 plus 4, positive 0 minus 3, negative 0 plus 3, positive. You cancel the positive. What remains? Positive. So here you have positive. And you're looking for positive, so this will be inside our solution set. And now finally the last one. Anything bigger than 3. What do you want to pick?
What?
Any number bigger than 3.
99.
Sure, no problem. 99. Let's see what happens if you pick 99. So the first negative is this, and then 99 plus 4. Positive. 99 minus 3. Positive. 99 plus 3. Positive. You cancel one positive. What remains? Negative. So can you take the last interval? No. So what is our solution? Infinity. Negative infinity.
No.
We cannot have bracket because inequality doesn't have any brackets. Parentheses. The third interval. What is the third interval from where to where? This is negative 3. Negative 3 until positive 3. Mariam, question? I didn't divide it by negative here because for inequality, if you divide by negative, the inequality change. For example, we know 2 is bigger than 3, right? Sorry. What I'm saying, 2 is smaller than 3, right? Now, if you multiply both sides by negative, now we have negative 2 and negative 3. Can we still have the same sign? Is negative 2 smaller than negative 3? Which one is smaller, negative 2 or negative 3? Negative 3. So see, the inequality changed. So if you multiply by a negative or divide by a negative, the inequality flips. But most students forget that. That's why don't divide, keep it. Okay? From here, solve for x, no problem. There is no 0 because that doesn't have any equals to 0. It is only strictly bigger than 0. In the last one we had, give me 1 second, let me hear. Here it says either bigger than 0 or equals 0. 2 conditions. But here in this question, there is only 1 condition. Which one? Strictly bigger than 0. Martin?
What type of questions that are
Multiple choice is everything except the question we did today, x-intercept, y-intercept, vertex. This will not be multiple choice. X-intercept, y-intercept graph for the line will not be multiple choice. Complex fraction, not multiple choice. Addition, subtraction of rational, not multiple choice. What else? Triangle. No, triangle, multiple choice actually. Most of the time. There are 2 types of question I forgot. Mostly those are not multiple choice, mostly. Okay, one more question real quick. Okay, so this is our solution. Now the last question, real quick. Here we don't have to do anything because they already factored everything for us. When everything is factored, our life is easy. All we have to do is find the axis. So x squared 0, x plus 7 0, x minus 5 0, but we know denominator cannot be 0, right? Denominator can never be 0. The numerator can be 0, but denominator not 0. So from here, solve for us. This gives us x equals. This tells us x equals. This tells us x equals positive 5. Oh, I said negative. And this tells us x cannot be 0. Sorry, not 0. Come on, Maria. It's 4. I was like, what? Access reaction. It doesn't make sense. Okay. What we are looking for? Less than 0 or equals to 0. What does less than equals 0 mean? Less than 0 means positive or negative? Negative. Either negative or 0. We are looking for two things. Either negative or 0. And for boundary, bracket for the top. Denominator always get parentheses. Okay. Now let's set up our table. Negative infinity, positive infinity. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man, how many times? 5 times. Which number is supposed to write on the left? Negative 7. Next. Next. 4. And then 5. So 4 doesn't have anything. It's from the denominator, so we cannot have 4. So 4 gets this. If you want, you can set the other ones like this. We don't know which one will be our interval. But whatever will be our interval, that's the setup. 7, negative 7 from the numerator, it will get bracket if we have a box. 0 from the numerator, it will be a bracket because it's from the numerator. 4 is from the denominator, so you cannot have a bracket, you have to find.
Why do you, how do you know it's not, why 4 can't?
Point x is 4, what is the denominator? 4 minus 4 is? 4 minus 4.
Oh, 4 minus 4, 0.
0 in the denominator. Are you allowed to have 0 in the denominator? That's why you cannot have 4. You have 2 in parentheses. Parentheses means you cannot use that number. So we cannot use infinity because we don't know how to use it. So infinity is parentheses. And also we cannot use 4 because 4 makes the denominator 0. Besides 4 and infinity, everything else will get bracket if we have them in our boundary. Now let's see what we have. So let me write down the equation here. X squared, x plus 7, x minus 5, x minus 4. What do you want to pick that is smaller than negative 7? Negative 8. So negative 8, negative 8, negative 8, negative 8. We replace every x, 4 x's with negative 8. Now we have negative 8 squared, positive. Then we have negative 8 plus 7, negative. Negative 8 minus 5, divided by negative 8 minus 4, negative. One of the negative cancel out, the result is negative. Are we looking for negative? Yes. So this will go in our solution. Negative infinity to negative 7 will be in our solution. Now let's do the next one. What number do we have between negative 7 to 0? 2. So change all these x to negative 2. Negative 2, negative 2, negative 2, negative 2. And tell me the sign again. First one is positive, positive, negative, negative. One of the negative cancel out, the result is positive. Are you looking for positive? The second interval is out. Then we start with something positive. Anything 0 to 4. So we just change all this negative. So what do you have? 2 square. Positive. Positive. 2 minus 5. Negative. Denominator. Negative, negative cancel out. Positive. But are you looking for positive? No. However, we are looking for either negative or 0, right? So when x is 0, we have y value 0. So before 0 is positive, after 0 positive, we cannot take them. But when it's 0, it says 0. So we can take the 0. We cannot take the left interval, the right interval, but we can take one number that makes the y 0. 4 to 5. 4.5. So we erase all of this and we get 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. So first one is positive. What's the second one? Positive. Next, negative because 5 is bigger. Denominator, positive. One of the positive cancel out. The answer is negative. Can you take the fourth interval? We are looking for something negative, right? So we have to take the fourth interval. And now the last one. Guess what will be the answer for the last one? Positive or negative? Positive? Okay, let's see. Anything bigger than 0, bigger than 5 is 6. So 6, 6, 6, 6. Yeah, so much work. Plus, 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 plus. Yeah, you guys are correct. Plus. She cannot take it. So what's the solution? The first interval, negative infinity to negative 7. 7 will get bracket, union. Curly bracket inside 0. And the last one, parentheses, 4. This interval, 4 to 5 bracket. The last one you cannot take because it's positive.
But we always use 0 as an answer.
You have the equal sign.
Always because equal.
It says bigger, smaller than 0 or equal 0.
If there's no whatever that thing is, 0
Then
is not an
you
answer.
cannot take it. With this, you're done with the syllabus, but let me go over one more question, which probably you have in your homework. This one. The parabola is given, find out its equation. So to find that, you start with the format. Our format is y equals some type of leading coefficient x minus h square plus k, right? The vertex format, the standard form. So compare that and then find out the equation. First of all, we know what is h and k, right? This is h and k. X will and the y value. So x is 1, 2, y is 1, 2, negative 2. So this is 2, this is negative 3. Now we need to know what is a. In order to find a, so we get the solution here. Not solution. Answer y equals a x minus 2 square minus 3. Now we're almost done. The only problem is we need to know what the leading coefficient is. Not every leading coefficient is 1. So what's the leading coefficient? To figure that out, we just replace x and y with any number here and then solve for it. So let's take this number. What's the x value here? 0. What's the y value here? 1. So we replace x with 0, y with 1. We have this, and now we just have to solve for a. So we have negative 2 squared minus 3. That gives us 4. To get the a alone, first we need to get rid of the 3. So we have 4a equals 4 divided by 4. So a is 1, not 0, 1. So the equation is here. Y equals 1 x minus 2 squared minus 3. So if the graph is given, you're finding the equation, you replace x, y, h, k, everything, solve for it, and then re-plug everything, x and x and y. I think you have this question in your homework. And with this, you are done in the syllabus. You complete everything you need for your final exam.
And we get that.
Don't leave, I'm going to tell you what will be in the exam tomorrow, on Thursday.
You can make, or you can make the exam yet for Thursday.
I didn't make the exam yet, but if I tell you what will be in the exam, I can make the exam based on that. Can I move from this page? Yeah.
This was third.
This was or was not, I don't know. But this is not the radio sheet. What's exam 5 here? Okay. If I have space, I'll give 2 of these. If I have a space. If I don't, then I'm going to leave them. 1 from here. Solve the radical equation. And also this will be the final. I'll give this and 1 or 2 from this. Either 1 or 2, depending on my space. If I have a space, I'll give you 2. If I don't have space, I'll give you 1. Oh man. Come on. Definitely 1 from this. And also the finalizer. So this will be the final. This will be the final. 1 with 4 terms. So see here you have 2 terms, but I'll give you 1 question with 4 terms. So 1.
That one, everything is going to be together.
So 1. If I have space, then I would like to give 3. Like 3 because we have 3 types of discriminant. 1 for each type, like these 3. 1 from these 2. For inequality, 1 from quadratic. And if I have space, then one from rational. But definitely quadratic. And if I have space, then rational also. One of these, where you have to find vertex, x and y intercept. Transformation one, like this one, 3 types of transformation. I'll leave this parabola alone. Parabola, I don't have space. Definitely one from the triangle.
Parabola dot, right?
This is my favorite, one of my favorite question, but if I don't have space, so I'm gonna wait. So one triangle, this also will be in the final. 1, 2, 3. This also will be in the final. This also will be in the final. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 to 13. Huh? Combining these 3, there is one question. One question with 3 of them. Around 16, 17. Okay. But whatever I told you, study those very well.
YouTube we posted today or tomorrow? The YouTube video.
Today,
Today?
after a few, after 1 hour. So good luck, everyone. Don't be late. And what practice those questions from the review sheet. Whatever you don't understand, please go over doing your field skills.
16 questions in total.
It doesn't matter. You'll see.
It doesn't matter.
It's below 20. That's the main thing. Below 20.
I kind of still don't understand, but I kind of do. So this goes to the left, right?
Left 5 minutes.
Right, but then how do I go up? I go up to 25.
So left 5 units, and then 5 square is 25. You don't have 25. So pick anything else. Let's say y-axis is -1. Or y-axis is -4.
So 5,
Y-axis is -4. What do you have?
when it's -4.
Y-axis is -4. You have -4 plus 5, which is 1 square 1. So y-axis is -4 1. So you have 1 going 5 units to the right, and then 1 is -1. What did I say? -4 1. Like you need 2 points. So 1 point you know it's -5. Yeah, -5 is the right side. And the other point is y-axis is -4, y value is 1. Right? Y-axis is -4. -4 plus 5 is +1. 1 square is 1. So you go, and then
So the first thing is to the right.
write 5 units. No, first you have to start from here.
The top.
From the vertex.
So from here.
5 units to the right. 5 units to the left or right? Oh, sorry. What's the question? 5 units to the left.
Right.
So go to 5 units to the left.
That's gonna be a lot.
And then the next point is point -4 is +1. So click on here. This is +1, right? Or you picked downside parabola. Pick downside parabola, upward parabola. No, you picked V, not V.
You just add on.
Yeah, I got it.
So
So
5.
and then don't do anything. Here. And I clear. And now it's the symmetry.
And then how do I get the line?
The line,
This.
no, the line is here. And then it's here, right? Okay. Then you go, sorry. So it is this one. Can you erase it anyhow? Or maybe we can move it.
Yeah.
Or no? Yeah.
So I can put it anywhere once it's straight.
Mhm. Right. And it's dashed line. So is it dashed?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's to the left, and then you go up.
And then you pick one, pick any other number, any other point. So you need 2 points. One is the vertex where you are moving your xy, and then the other one is substitute x with any number and then see what's the y value.